8K TV sales could double in 2021 as prices drop to OLED levels. This is one of those things it felt like was never going to happen. I mean, we got the 8K setup we got the 8K OLED setup that just we just unboxed at the new studio space. But I mean, it's like, I think that TV is like $30,000 or something. I mean, it's not feasible to have that in the average house or something like that. However, 8K in general, we've been looking at it since maybe the first CES I ever went to, so maybe a decade, that they've at least been capable of delivering it. But there's been not much of a rush to actually get it out there because there's not a lot of content to take advantage of it either. However, this is technology, and technology's got to move. And at some point, it has to hit a price point that gets it into people's houses and therefore encourages content creators to actually embrace this greater resolution. And you know, this coincides with the next two stories I'm going to get to, Will, which is, you know how all these directors are upset about the streaming decisions that have been made around new launch titles for movies? Well, one of the reasons they're upset is because people are having subpar experiences watching their films, which they intended to be seen on a big screen at a high resolution.
Yep.
So if we can kind of rearrange our aggravation a little bit as a director, I'm not calling myself, you know what I'm saying here. You could imagine there could be partnerships, there could be a way to figure it out to ensure the person has that type of experience. And you got to figure it out with the streaming platforms. You got to figure it out with the production companies and the TV manufacturers. But if you put it all together and you actually pump out cinema-like 8K at-home experiences, maybe that's a decent consolation for having lost the in-theater stuff because of 2020 being 2020. So maybe these things can work together and alleviate some of that stress. Well, anyway, it's like a lot of segments where the hardware price has to come down, and then that drives all the other market forces. So Deloitte is estimating that 8K is going to gain a larger slice of the TV market in 2021. Revenues from 8K panels will surge up to a global total of $3.3 billion, and then it'll reach $5 billion by 2022, which is an increase, essentially doubling 2019's number of $2.3 billion. A 50% increase. So here's how that breaks down price-wise. The average selling price of 8K TVs will drop from around $4,500 in 2020 to around $3,500 in 2021. And then by the end of 2021, entry-level 8K TVs will be offered as low as US $1,500.
That's quite affordable.
$1,500 easy, Will. Quite affordable. Sheesh.
Willie. I mean,
it's a lot better than $9,000. It's a lot better than $5,000. I mean, there's some crazy price points out there for 8K. Now, it doesn't do anything for figuring out what content you're going to put on there, but certainly if they're sitting in people's houses and more people's houses, then more people take note, and maybe those movie directors put pressure on the streaming services to start supporting higher resolutions, because it is possible. YouTube proves it. LG's own marketing content that we played in the video that we watched, 8K native, yeah, it's streamed over Wi-Fi. No problem on the 8K OLED display that we had. So it is possible. We just need the streaming providers to actually push it, and the hardware manufacturers bring the prices down, which is what looks like is happening regardless. It's an incredible experience. Well, even the 4K upscaled, which we were playing on PlayStation 5, no problemo. Cheaper 8K TVs coming.